Hi everyone, this is Rosie and welcome to my studio where we can explore creativity together. In my previous video, I did a tutorial on how to calibrate your Cricut Maker so that you can use the Print Then Cut function. And today I'd like to do a first project using Print Then Cut. So I'm going to go all the way up here into the upper right hand corner of the screen and I'm going to choose New Project. And I want to use a project file that's in Cricut Access. So I'm going to go over here to My Projects. And right here, there's a little drop-down menu. I just click on that arrow to get the drop-down menu. And I'm going to scroll to where it says Cricut Access. And the file that I want to use is called Printed Envelopes. It's right here on the screen. Now, if the project that you're looking for doesn't appear in the selections that they give you, to find it easier, you can go right up here to this Search Projects section, type in anything, any keywords that you want, and you will get projects related to those keywords. So, but my project is here, so I'm just going to click on it. And first thing that pops up are the instructions for what you need to do. So you can scroll down and read the description. They're 3.25 by 3.75 by 4.75 size finished envelopes. And you'll need some craft cardstock. You'll need your mats, scoring tool, your printer obviously, and some double-sided adhesive tape. Now, it also tells you in the preparation section that this project is customizable, but I'm just going to print them as is, so I'm not going to customize right now. And you're basically just following whatever instructions that they're giving you here for preparation and materials. They also tell you how to finish the assembled project. But for right now, we're just going to click the Make It button. And my envelopes appear here on the screen. Now if you're doing all 3 envelopes, you will be loading the mat 3 times. But the one thing I want to point out is the orientation of the cardstock on the mat. The envelope has really 4 flaps on it. There's a flap up here, and there's a flap down here. Those are the side flaps. And then this would be the bottom flap, and this would be the top flap. Now, the bottom flap over here is not as wide as the top flap, and it's really important that you place this paper, this cardstock, onto your mat the way it's showing you on the screen here, because that is the way the maker is going to cut the envelope out. So make sure that the wider flap is to the right. Okay, now we can go ahead and continue. And they want you to send your cardstock to the printer, so you would hit the print button here. Now I'm using a laser printer because I want to foil my envelopes when they're done, and I will show you how to do that when we get to that point. If you're using an inkjet printer, you will not be able to do the foiled option, but I'm using the laser. If you have a laser printer, you have the option of doing that. So now it's setting up my printer, and it's going to send it to my wireless printer, and I'm just going to hit print, and then I'll go retrieve that and we will continue. So now it's just telling me in order to continue I need to connect my machine, so I just need to turn it on. And now up here it's recognizing my maker. So I need to choose the type of material that I'm using, so I'm just going to hit medium cardstock. It's 80-pound medium cardstock. It's telling me to load my scoring stylus and clamp A. It needs the fine point blade, and then I'm going to load the mat. So I have here the first envelope that I'm going to print out, and it's been printed on the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I've mounted it in the upper left-hand corner. The narrow flat is to the left and the wider flap is to the right. Now you need the fine tip blade, which is already mounted in here, and then you also need the scoring tool. So I'm going to put that in now. Now when you put in your scoring tool, you want to make sure that this arrow goes down until you can't see it anymore. You're actually going to feel a little click. Keep your finger under here. because it supports the housing as you're pushing the scoring tool down. You don't have to push it hard, but you're just going to give it a little tap and you'll feel it click into place. And then once it's in, you close the door. So we're all set now for printing. The other thing that you want to make sure of when you load your mat is you want to make sure that the mat is underneath these white guides right here. There's one on each side. There's one here and one over there. And then just push it up to the black rollers. Okay, now that we're all set to go, we just load the mat. And now it's all set to go, so we just hit the little Cricut button. So right now it's just scanning. And now it's doing the scoring. And now it's just going to make sure that I have the right blade in. That's one nice thing about this machine. You don't have to worry if you don't have the correct blade in. It will go and look for it for you. And now it's just cutting. Okay, so it's all done, and I can unload my mat. And now it's ready to do the next envelope, so you would just go through the same process. You would send the next envelope to be printed, and then you'll go through the same exact process all over again. So I'm going to finish the other two, and then when I'm done with that, I will show you how to do the foiling. So there's the envelope cut, and I'm just going to remove the cardstock. And there it is. It looks perfect. So I'm going to cut out the other two envelopes and then I'll show you how to do the foiling. In order to do the type of foiling that I'm about to show you, you need a source of heat. So I will be using a laminator. This is the laminator that I'm going to be using. It's a very inexpensive laminator. It's made by Royal Sovereign. I bought it off of Amazon. And right now it's just heating up. Okay, so there's a 3 mil setting and a 5 mil setting. I'm putting it on the 3 mil setting. Don't put it on cold because then you won't have any heat, and you need heat for this. And it's just warming up right now, so I'm going to prepare the cardstock for the lamination. So for the foiling, I'm using Deco foil, and I have some gold sheets right here. This came in a flat package, and then these ones come in a tube. But it's all the same product, Deco foil. So I have some red and green. And then next I'm just going to need some copy paper to use as carrier sheets. So I have 2 sheets of copy paper here. And then I'll take my first envelope, which is this one, and I'm going to measure it out for how much foil I need. So I'm taking a sheet of the gold Deco foil and I'm placing it face down, so the gold side is down, and then this is my first envelope that I'm foiling. And I'm going to put that on top of the Deco sheet, also face down. And then I'm just going to cut it to size with my rotary cutter. Being a sewer, I always turn to my sewing tools no matter what I'm doing. And then I need another piece that's just big enough to fit over here on the flap and the rest of the flap. So just get that under there. And then I can just cut across. I'm being a little wasteful right now, but that's okay. Now that I have that done, I'm just going to slip this carrier sheet underneath it. And then I'm going to put another carrier sheet on top of it. And now it's ready to go into the laminator. I'm just going to flip it up. And I will bring the laminator into view and we will run it through. So here's the laminator. I'm just going to feed it through. And it's going to go through slowly. You just be patient and wait for it to come out the other end. Okay, now it's through the laminator, and I'm just going to let it cool down for a little bit, and then I'm going to take the foil off. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, there you go. So now I finished foiling the other two envelopes, and I'm just going to remove the foil. You can see it does a really, really nice job. You can see how it really kind of shimmers. And then here's the one with the dots. Okay, so we have the 3 envelopes done now. There they are, and now I'm going to show you how to put them together. So now we'll just go over how to put these together. So the first time I ever used the scoring tool in the Maker, the lines were so fine I thought, how is that ever going to fold? But I have to tell you, it does a really excellent job of folding. So you just go right along the score line. Folds very easily. So we're folding in the side flaps right now. And then once we do that, we're going to put on some score tape. I'm using score tape. You can use whatever you have. Now, to use the score tape, what I do is I put 3 fingers through the hole, through the middle. And I use my thumb to control the tape coming off. And then I can just place it down where I want it to go. We're going to put it on the edge of one of the flaps. Okay, and then I'm just taking a steel edge ruler, and then I can cut it right off there. Okay, and then you just take off the release paper and fold the other side flap in and burnish it down. And then we need to put a piece of tape along here. So again, I have my 3 fingers through the middle of the tape, and my thumb is controlling how it comes off. And then just use the edge of my ruler to cut it. Take off the release paper, and again fold it on the score line. That's it. Now I want to add one other little touch to this envelope, and that will be to put a closure on it. So to finish up the project, I want to put a little closure on this, and what I'm going to do is I took a piece of red cardstock here, and I put score tape on half of it, and this is a 3/4 inch punch right here. I'm going to punch out 2 circles, one that has score tape on it, and the other one just plain, no score tape. Okay. Then next I'm going to fold down the flap. Okay. And I'm going to punch a little hole between the piece that does not have the score tape on it and the flap. And I'm just going to center it on there. You can use a hole punch for this if you want, whatever you have. Hopefully I'm in the center here. It's a little hard to tell with the camera in the way. Okay. And then I'm going to just take some string. This is just, you know, your everyday old baker's twine, and I'm going to put the twine through the hole I just made, and grab it on the other end, and then I'm going to take a brad, and I'm going to hold my string aside, and I'm going to take the piece that I punched the hole in, and I can tell it's not in the center, so anyway, you get the idea. and I'm going to put it through the hole. Okay? And I'm going to open up the brad. Okay, and then the piece that I had the score tape on, I'm just going to remove the release paper. And I'm going to cover up the brad and the twine there. Okay, and then you can just trim off that excess piece right there. So then you can do one of two things. You can either wrap it around this way and go around here. You can see it makes it look like you have a little ribbon around there for your closure, or you could go the other way with it. Okay? And then of course if you decide that you're going to go this way, you would trim down this excess, or you could go like this. There you go. So that's a pretty cute little closure, and that would actually make a really nice little gift card envelope. And there you go. You have some really cute little foiled envelopes made on the Cricut Maker with the print then cut function. You can use these for gift cards or whatever other purpose you can think of. Well, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that it was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe.